has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hey everybody, Big Dog here. If you could be so kind as to give me a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're liking the content. Also, if you're looking to interact with me a little more, there's a link in the description box below of every video that I do. It's a link to all my social media accounts, Twitter, Twitch, my Discord server, TikTok, all that good stuff, if you want to interact with me a little more. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did. Now, what do you say we get on with the show, huh? Oh, what's happening, everybody? It is your man, Big Dog here. Welcome to episode 217 of the Dog House. Thank you for being here. Sorry I couldn't do this live again. Once again, got hit with time constraints, so unfortunately no stream tonight, but hopefully if I have time I'll do a quick PlayStation stream tomorrow. I highly doubt I will have time to do it tomorrow, but we'll see. First things first, to everybody that's watching this either tonight or tomorrow on Memorial Day, happy Memorial Day. I hope you enjoyed your Memorial Day weekend, as I have. I got to relax, I got to do some stuff, got to have a lot of fun, but not looking forward to the work week, but whatever, it is what it is. We got to do what we got to do, right? Anyway, let's get into tonight's topics. Now, the first thing I want to mention is something pertaining to the whole P. Diddy trial. Now, for those of you who don't know, the rapper slash hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs has recently been brought up on human trafficking charges and a bunch of other charges like RICO charges and stuff like that. Now, recently there has been a development in the trial. One Kid Cudi, who is another rapper, had began his testimony on the whole situation with him and P. Diddy. And I'm not going to go too in-depth with it because it's not really that... I don't want to say it's that interesting, but it's not something I really want to dive too deep into. But there was something he did say that made me laugh a little bit. And I remember reading it out loud and I just busted out laughing. It's the fact that Kid Cudi says Diddy was like a Marvel supervillain when he confronted him over Porsche explosion. The rapper testified at Combs' sex trafficking trial in Manhattan on May 22nd, which was, I believe, a couple days ago. Yeah, 3 days ago. Oh my God. Forgot to silence my phone. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's read a little bit into the article. Kid Cudi testified that Sean Diddy Combs looked like a Marvel supervillain when he went to meet the music mogul after his car blew up in his driveway. The pursuit happened. This rapper, whose real name is Scott Miscuddy, was called as a prosecution witness at Combs' federal trial in Manhattan and took the stand Thursday morning, May 22nd. Miscuddy testified that while he was seeing Cassandra Ventura romantically in 2011, during a lull in her relationship with Combs, his home was broken into, his dog was locked in a bathroom, and later a Molotov cocktail was thrown in his blue Porsche as it sat in his driveway. Bro. No wonder he said he looked like a fucking supervillain. Jesus, he sure is acting like one. Miscuddy, who had been engaged in heated phone conversations with Combs after the mogul discovered his relationship with Ventura, believed Combs was involved. Miscuddy said the relationship with Ventura ended in 2011 out of concern for each each of their safety, testifying that he believed Combs to be violent. Well, when somebody throws a fucking Molotov cocktail at your car, I can understand why you would think that. Later, Muscati testified he met with Combs at the Soho House in Los Angeles, noting the Bad Boy Records founder was standing with his hand behind his back like a Marvel supervillain. Oh my god. Blood out here thinking he Kingpin. This is crazy. Oh my god, that's insane. Oh man, I can't look at this dude the same now. After the meeting where the pair was eventually joined by Ventura, Scotty said he asked Combs, "What are we going to do about my car?" Combs allegedly replied, "I don't know what you're talking about." But Muscati testified he believed Combs was lying. Probably was. Muscati and Combs encountered each other again at the Soho House a few years later. He said, testifying, Combs said he wanted to apologize for everything. Muscati, a two-time Grammy winner, said he found peace with what happened. Combs is charged with, yeah, we know that. The center state, he's pleaded not guilty. Alrighty. So yeah. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what this probably did happen. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if that part where Cuddy said that Diddy looked like a freaking supervillain is true, but it's hard for me not to look at this and say, dude looks like, sounds like he's a goddamn kingpin. Especially if he's acting like that. Like, my god, dude. Throwing a Molotov cocktail at somebody's car is fake crazy. But then again, what the hell do I know? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab a sip of water and then we're gonna move on to the next topic. Refreshing. Anyway, let us move on to the next topic. Something that I have not really expected to happen, but hey, weirder things have happened in 2025. Now, as you guys have probably known, recently there's been a lot of hoopla. I don't want to say that word, but there's been a lot of craziness going on in the world, particularly in the US. Not too long ago, two Israeli diplomats were gunned down by a gunman, by a pro-Palestinian gunman who apparently was an avid Twitch watcher. And it started a whole big thing. Apparently, one of the heads of the ADL apparently blamed Hassan Piker for this, which, well, I can understand why he would say that. I don't particularly think Hassan is the be-all, end-all reason this happened. Granted, you can say his rhetoric is kind of an end result to this. Now, recently, with all this huge backlash that Twitch has been getting with their lack of doing anything about Hassan's like extremist rhetoric, Twitch recently did something that, I gotta be honest, I did not see coming, and a lot of people didn't see coming. But we're not entirely mad this happened. And you're probably wondering, dude, what are you talking about now? Well, yesterday, Hassan Piker officially got banned from not Twitter, but he officially got banned from Twitch, or suspended from Twitch.
Yes!
Now, I'll give Twitch props for doing something about finally doing that, but let's be honest here. this is not going to last. He'll probably be back on latest month. He'll probably be back Tuesday at the latest. He'll be back Tuesday after the holiday break. And quite frankly, I think that's a fucking joke. Sorry, hang on a second. Sorry about that. I thought somebody was at my door. But anyway. Yeah, so Hassan got banned. Apparently, the reason he got banned was because he read the shooter's manifesto. And Twitch didn't really have a... Twitch had a pretty big issue with that. So... yeah. So, if you guys want my opinion on this, it's simple. Honestly, he should be banned for longer than 2 days or a day or two, but we know that's never going to happen. And quite frankly, what Twitch really should be doing is fixing their TOS, and saying, you know what? We're not going to tolerate sympathizing with terrorists anymore. That if you show any sympathy to any terrorist group or any group that is designated a terrorist organization by the US government, you are going to get permabanned. Quite frankly, Hassan should be permabanned. Normally I would not wish for someone to be deplatformed. Hell, I don't even think I did it when Sneeko got permabanned. But honestly, I gotta say, man, Twitch, you really deserve the reputation you have. You deserve it. And I know people are gonna get on my case and say, well, you're on Twitch too. Yeah, I'm on Twitch because I have a fan base on Twitch. Okay, just because I stream on somewhere doesn't mean I agree with everything they do. The same thing, I don't agree with everything YouTube does. And I post videos on there almost weekly. It is what it is. But to put a bow on this, yeah. He ain't gonna get banned for long. Twitch is a freaking joke with their moderation. But you guys already knew that. Anyway, let's move on to the final topic. iDubbbz. Again. So... recently, some stuff about iDubbbz came out that is starting to make a lot of sense about his recent behavior. Also, he apparently was laughing at the fact that Ethan was sent human skulls to his house, which... what the fuck? You can't be serious, dude. Why are you laughing at that? That's not funny. But, anyway, let's get into this more Pegasus video. Shout out to More Pegasus. And yeah, let's do this.
Laughing about it. Apparently, the iDubbbz situation has gotten much worse. iDubbbz has just responded to the clip of Ethan getting sent human skulls in the mail, and he ends up laughing about it. Apparently, his empathy meter was empty today.
For those of you wondering what he's talking about, there's a clip out there of Ian saying that he got empathy at the age of 32, which that I don't know. I don't know about you, but if that were me, I probably wouldn't be admitting that. But then again, what do I know?
In response to this, Ethan actually exposes iDubbbz's dating history and the fact that Anissa was his first girlfriend. Now,
he spoiled it, whatever.
Remember last video how we saw Hassan and friends reacting to the shooting of 2 Israeli diplomats, saying that they were genuine in their actions? Well,
Are you serious right now, bro?
I forgot he said that. Bro. I don't care if he was genuine. He murdered 2 people. He murdered 2 people. 2 people that, quite frankly, did not deserve to die. Oh my god. I hate these big political streamers, man. They're fucking assholes. Not to say I'm not an asshole. It's just, at least I wouldn't sit here justifying murder.
Ethan is rightfully really mad about that, and he talks about it on their podcast. We also have the daily Hassan meltdown calling Asmongold a cockroach and losing his mind at the thought of mainstream media calling him out. So we're gonna check all of that out. Subscribe. We're trying to reach 1 million subs. Check out the playlist, and let's begin. So starts with this clip by iDubbbz. iDubbbz shows off his empathy when talking about Skullgate. I thought the Skulls thing was kind of humorous.
One last
You can't be serious.
question. Did you send the skulls?
By the way, this is Noah Sampson. He's another, I don't know if he's in league with Hassan, but I would say he's Hassan adjacent, but whatever.
What is your opinion on the skulls, and did you send them?
I didn't send the skulls.
I mean, we knew that.
I don't know. I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that, especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that.
That's
What the
crazy.
fuck?
That's so crazy. So, I want to give some more context here. Ethan Klein and Ian Jamba, they were friends for like 9 years. They've been almost a decade long, I can't freaking talk today. They've had almost a decade long friendship. And he nuked it pretty much by doing that hit piece on Ethan, which, yes, it was a hit piece. Like, that's what a hit piece looks like. You want to know what a hit piece looks like? Search Content Cop H3. But, man, so let me get this straight. It's funny to see somebody receive human skulls in the mail. Oh my god. And you guys know, and you know what? I'm gonna say it. You guys know, if this happened to him, he wouldn't be laughing. He'd be like, what the fuck? And him and his wife would be whining about it on their podcast.
That made it funny.
Yeah.
Just fucking bastard.
Like a death threat to a father, a family.
Whoo! Shots fired.
Yeah, was it a death threat?
Yes, it was. It was. Why the hell else would you send skulls to somebody's house? Fucking idiot.
Yeah, no.
I'm so disappointed in both of these idiots.
Skulls.com with the serial number still attached and the package.
I don't.
That's not a good... That doesn't make it any better, dude.
Still on it.
To be honest, I didn't know anything about it because I think it was linked as like was it a response to my content cop?
Yeah,
It happened before your content cop, I'm pretty sure.
very humorous. Just a prank, bro. Sending human skulls to someone's
Joji.
house. By the way, iDubbbz tries to make it out like these are toys and not real skulls. Like, oh, it's from a website. But these were actually real human skulls sent to their house. Yes, somebody purchased it, but doesn't mean that they weren't real. I mean, believe it or not, Diet Hassan here actually had a rare...
Diet Hassan. I called him a Hassan adjacent, but that's a little better.
moment of honesty and acknowledge that it was a death threat to Ethan and Elo, or maybe their kids, and then he got really
Because it
serious
was.
about it, but then immediately decided to push back any semblance of humanity and settle that it was just a harmless joke. By the way, same guy who was making excuses for the murder of 2 people. Just absolute psychos.
Yeah, there's something wrong with these people, man. Wait, what I'm about to say is gonna be really heavy, but it needs to be said. You gotta be, if you're sitting here justifying the murder of 2 people or downplaying the murder of 2 people, you really gotta look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is wrong with me? Because that's insane to me. Sitting here and justifying something like that? Are you nuts?
So anyways, Ethan responds.
One last
Of course he
question.
responds.
Did you send the skulls? What is your opinion on the skulls?
Why
and
would
did
you ask
send them?
that? Like,
Because they think it's a joke.
yeah.
They think
Well, that's kind of obvious.
it's funny. They like that it happened. And then also they
It's
say that I'm
activism.
lying. I'm lying. I sent it myself. It never happened. But also it's funny and we love it that it happened. That's basically everything.
I thought
Pretty much. I've got nothing to say to that. He's absolutely right.
The skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that.
So
That sounds pretty funny to me, bud.
That empathy unlocked thing that you were talking about, I don't believe it anymore. I think they're
Damn. Get him, Mila. Get him.
0. I don't think you're even at 20%.
Well, I don't know what's not funny about receiving human skulls in the mail.
Especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that.
Skulls Unlimited, which is the only place, by the way, in the entire America that sells skulls.
Is that
They
true?
are
I think
real.
so. They're like an exclusive retailer because guess what? It's not easy to obtain human skulls.
Yeah, I can imagine it's not easy getting that kind of thing. Skulls Unlimited. That's insane. You know what? In the comments, let me know if this is an actual site. Because that's insane.
That
to
you
me.
can sell them. That's generally a very dicey business to be.
Yeah, I'm, you know what?
Yeah, it makes you question how the hell did you get that?
I'm glad there's only one place.
They are real though. He's talking about it like it's some kind of prop or something.
Yeah.
It's a real human skull. Yeah.
Okay, so basically some insane psychopath decided to purchase skulls from the only website in America that actually sells them and then mail it over to
Another thing, why the hell is there a website out there where you can actually buy human skulls? That's so weird. Why the hell would you need an actual human skull?
Ethan's
Oh,
house.
Lord.
And Idubs and friends find that hilarious. They actually don't think it's
Because they hate his guts.
serious at all. And in Hassan's own words, I think that's a little brain broken. Honestly, I think Idubs needs a chug jug. Like, he must have ran out of empathy. He needs to drink something.
Boo Fortnite reference.
Bruh.
Boo Fortnite reference. No Fortnite references on here. None of that shit.
And gotta refill that fucking meter. But I think it's so disgusting that you can't even acknowledge that this was wrong, that this was seriously messed up. I mean, really,
Right?
we just had 2 murders committed over all of this sort of rhetoric, and they still think that all of this is a joke. Like, you guys are fucking dangerous, man. The way
You know what? I'm gonna say why, Pegasus, because they're fucking grifters. They don't actually care about the cause that they're championing. They're just doing this to get attention online and to get people to like them and to grow their audience. Like, and this is the thing that people really do not understand about a lot of these content creators. They are extremely inept when it comes to political discussions. This is why you notice I try to steer away from stuff like this because I don't know anything. I'm not knowledgeable enough for this stuff. And quite frankly, neither of them. Neither of them are. And they sit here and talk so confidently. And it drives me nuts. Because it's like, you don't know what you're talking about. And you're sitting here confidently talking about this. All right, let's move on.
you just dehumanize people. Now, anyways, in response to this, Ethan decides to expose some information about iDubbbz.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This ought to be good.
Ethan confirms Ian's dating history. Was a virgin, never kissed a girl, met Anissa who took his virginity and everything else.
In honor
Wow.
of
Okay.
Hassan, the iDubbbz finding this funny, there's a certain piece of information that I've known about him that I've been holding my tongue because I was talking to him, we were hanging out, we just did a video, and I started asking him about his his life.
I gotta say, if Ethan knew this for this long and didn't say anything until now, I gotta say, man, again, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Ethan. I don't hate the guy, but I don't agree with everything he says. But I gotta say, if what Ethan is saying is true, then I gotta say, Ethan is a really good friend. The fact that he kept this to himself for years and didn't tell anybody, like that's really good for a friend. But again, I don't know if he's telling the truth.
Love life. I was curious because I've
don't
just
know
never
if-
seen him, and I was like, do you get out? How do you meet people? You know, because he's kind of just like living in he was living by himself with like his parents or some shit. And I was like, and he was a successful YouTuber. I was like, what's going on, man? I was trying to help my boy out. I wanted to.
That was like his golden era.
His
in
golden era.
yeah. And he told me that he had never had a girlfriend. He had never been with a girl. he'd almost practically never even talked to a girl romantically. And this was
Oh.
right before he started dating Anissa. He was a virgin. He had never even kissed a girl. And then he met Anissa, who took his virginity and everything else. But also, that's just the context there. A little funny gag. It's a humorous little gag. I like the detail. It's funny.
Okay,
All right, before Pegasus gets into his take on this, I'm gonna say this. Context, without the context, that's actually a fairly wholesome story. In my opinion, that's a fairly wholesome story. And I don't see anything wrong with him having one woman, losing his virginity to her, and staying with her for the rest of it, for a good majority of his life. Without the context, that is a very wholesome story. With the context, not that good. Doesn't make Ian look really that good. It kind of explains a lot of things.
this was kind of random by Ethan, but I guess everyone is just being really shitty to him, so he's sort of fighting back with the same sort of energy here.
Which is understandable. Not saying it's the right thing to do, but understandable.
I'm gonna give like a sort of controversial opinion here. It's not really, but I think people are really quite brain dead nowadays, so people might get mad at me. But I don't really think it's a bad thing to just be with one person. I think it should probably be encouraged a little bit more, because it's better than being with like 50 people and just hating your life, right? And I think ideally you just find your one partner and you stick with them and you build a life together. I think that's actually to be celebrated, and that's pretty wholesome. And you know, some people want to save themselves or whatever for the one, and I think that's totally fine too. Now, not saying
Again, like I said, I 100% agree with Pegasus here. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. And quite frankly, it is a good thing. It should be encouraged. But let's let Pegasus cook for a little bit, and then we're gonna call it.
I think that's what iDubbbz was doing. Just saying in general, I feel like this sort of shaming is really weird, but I do get the point he's making. I think the real point he's trying to make is that iDubbbz was starved for attention, and then when he got Anissa, he would basically do anything to make her happy, and I'm guessing he changed his entire personality for her, and he would bend to her every whim.
Which is really bad. That's not something you really should do, man or woman. You should not overly change yourself for somebody. I'm not saying you shouldn't make slight adjustments for your partner, but you shouldn't become a whole different person for them. That's not no. But yeah, there you have it. Like I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, that explains a lot about Ian as a person. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm gonna head off. Stay tuned for the meme of the day. This has been episode 217 of the Doghouse. Thank you all for being here. And yeah, later, bye. Oh